Welcome to CORESafety's Module 3 on Risk Management. Let's explore how you can proactively reduce risks and ensure safety across your mining operation. Safety is a priority in mining, but achieving it takes more than just a checklist. It requires a commitment to identifying and managing risks before they potentially turn into accidents, especially serious ones. Risk management is about identifying safety and health hazards. Basically, here's what you should do. First, identify any hazards there may be. See what risks there are and prioritize them. Develop and apply controls to handle those risks, and then verify and modify those controls as needed. This process never stops. You do it every time the operation opens, all the way to closure, and then restart when it opens again. To manage risks effectively, you need to use the right tools. This includes risk assessment methods, the hierarchy of controls, and consistent audits. The strongest controls eliminate risks altogether, while administrative measures and PPE should always be the last line of defense. Now, here's a really useful tool. It's called the hierarchy of controls. If you identify a hazard, then it's often best to physically remove it. If you can't eliminate it, then replace the hazard with something else. If that's not possible, then you should isolate people from the hazard. And if that's not possible, then change the way that people are working near the hazard. And lastly, if the hazard is going to present risks no matter what, then use personal protective equipment, PPE, as a final resort. Not all work activities are the same. Some tasks are performed often, but they carry low consequences, like equipment maintenance. Other activities may be less frequent, but they carry high consequences, like blasting or handling hazardous materials. Both types require careful assessments, effective controls, and regular audits to keep everyone safe. This doesn't mean that one size fits all when it comes to risk management. Your tools and audits have to be tailored to each mine site's specific needs. For high-risk work, your company should define any high-risk activities, investigate any incidents thoroughly, and apply the hierarchy of controls. For manageable risk, your management should define what the risks are, make decisions about work that exceeds acceptable risk, and decide how controls should be prioritized. In addition, in some cases, if you're a miner with the right knowledge, training, and experience, you can and should be ready to make risk-based decisions. Process Safety Management, or PSM, is a critical part of risk management. It aims to prevent unplanned, unexpected releases of hazardous materials or energy, events that, while rare, might lead to catastrophic consequences. Think of incidents like overpressure explosions or toxic gas leaks. These are low-probability, high-consequence events that require detailed planning and controls. PSM can help identify these. If your mine company assesses and identifies critical risks, it's important to use CORESafety to do this. First, create a process safety roadmap. Train key personnel in PSM, and establish a process safety structure. Process safety management doesn't necessarily apply to every mining operation, but it's still valuable to have these processes and controls in place. Now, despite our best efforts, emergencies can happen, whether it's an earthquake or a medical crisis. That's why emergency management is essential. From prevention and planning to coordination and recovery, a strong emergency plan ensures that everyone knows what to do and that risks are minimized even in the worst-case scenario. As we wrap up, let's talk now about what's expected of everyone at a mine operation: executives, managers, miners, and contractors alike. Risk management is a team effort, and everyone has a role to play in creating a safer workplace. Here's what you should keep in mind. For executives, demonstrate your commitment to risk management by setting a clear vision and allocating resources. It's all about creating a culture where safety always comes first. Ensure policies and procedures align with risk management best practices and are consistently enforced across all operations. Regularly review risk assessments, incident reports, and audits to stay ahead of potential hazards. Now, for managers and supervisors, engage your team in the risk assessment process. This isn't a one-person job. Train workers to recognize hazards and understand controls. Give them the tools they need to make informed decisions. And lead by example. Follow safety protocols yourself and address risks immediately when they arise. Lastly, for miners and contractors, be proactive. Identify hazards and speak up about them. Your insights are critical. Follow all safety protocols and use the tools and controls provided. If something doesn't feel right, stop and reassess. And stay trained and up to date on safety practices. Your knowledge keeps you and your team safe. When everyone takes ownership of risk management, we create a stronger, safer, and more resilient mine operation. It's important for all of us to commit, communicate, and take action. Thank you for your dedication to safety and for making risk management a priority. Together, we can make sure that every miner goes home safely every day.